Okay, so now we're gonna create a new subtool, and we're gonna start it to build the bottom part. Now we can reuse these guy. We already have that one. We can reuse them. Let me switch these off. Here we go. So go to subtool and just duplicate that shape. After you duplicate it, turn on move, W key, and then just move it down. And I mean, you can rotate something like this. If you hold shift key, so that is kind of snap 5 degrees at a time. So look like that. Just reposition it.
You're not sharing screen.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Hold on. Let me undo. I'm getting confused. What are you? Here we go. Okay. So let me delete it. Go ahead. Select. I mean, you can use a new one, or but we already have the object, so just duplicate it. And this object is already have Dynamesh on it. Turn on move, then you just move it down. And because on the top it has a round shape, so I'm gonna reuse that top part. So if I hold shift key and then just rotate, grab to rotate, it's kind of 5 degrees at a time. There we go. Okay. And then reposition. The rest of the time, we're gonna just have to use move brush, turn on symmetry. If you rotate, look like this. So we're gonna have to form the bottom part. Just move it in. Something simple. Okay. And if you feel like, let's do without image plane first. Turn off the grid, the floor, so that we can see only the model. And from here, just move brush, move it in, so that it appear to be under that, I don't know what to call that part, wing cap or something. Here we go. You might need to use smaller brush, press S, just form it. You look at on the bottom, you can form the shape. This one probably has to be bigger brush, so that quicker. And here we go. So what I am doing is I just try to put this fit under that top wing, and I'm gonna round this section a little bit. And you can smooth it. There we go. And a little part like this, you need to use the brush smaller and just move on the edge. And then we're gonna form the next thing. So it's look like this at the moment. Can you see how quick we could go? Okay, I'll give you a few more minutes, 5 minutes. Make sure, one moment, make sure file save as, so that I have a different version. Yes, Andrew.
Just some assistance. As I kind of got a little behind. I had to figure out. It was doing that weird like split thing. I figured out was the active symmetry. Do I just just shrink it in?
That's it. Yeah, that's all you need to do. Just make sure you do under that wing. Maybe you do. Philip, you do. Yeah. And on the bottom, you can use a clip brush to clip it quick too, so that you get really sharp edge. And then just move them around. So now, for people who are already ahead, you can turn the fall back on and kind of try to sculpt the shape. Here we go. Just using a brush, a move brush. Now, if you can't really, can you see the black color is the shade? What you could do is you can bring the draw palettes, right? Draw palette, drop it right here, and under 1, 2 here, show modifier. Hold on. There was a 1 left and right. Okay, scale. So if you click on modifiers right here, and you can reduce the enhance factor. You can increase the E enhance factor a little bit more so that that dark shade is go away. Now the enhance opacity, if you increase it, you can see through brighter. So at this point though, I think we could increase a little higher on both enhance opacity and enhance factor. And now I can see through much better. And then I'm gonna kind of round it. I'm gonna modify this top part a little bit. And don't worry about the precision of the shape, just roughly similar. That's our goal for now. And this is his chairs. I think hey guys, they're also his or her leg. This is a male, has a horn. That might confuse you. So just think about like a nice bottom part. That's it. Like think about the form, and this will go connected to the neck so it can go out. Here we go. And I think when you look at kind of on the back or on the front, you want to be kind of curved look like this on the center. There we go. So like that. And I think the top part here we go. See from the front, side, and now this section we're gonna later on there will be neck, so it's okay to look like that. A little come forward. I think I'm gonna. And if you guys remember, alt click on the surface. You select that subtool. It's a quick access so that you don't have to go to subtool, under tool palettes, subtool, subpalettes, and then select. You could just alt click, but sometimes you might have to change the brush size a little smaller. Now, can you guys look at on my screen quick? This section, can you see it look a little like wobbly What you can do is you can use a edge polish, alt click to fill that section, and then soft touch it. There we go. You know, I exaggerate it. Can you see? You could do alt to fill it, like right here. There we go. So it's kind of a little flattened. And smooth brush. Here we go. How are you guys doing? Did you get that shape?
Yeah.
Good. So if you are ahead, you could, oh, hey guys, look at this part. I make a mistake right here. Because the leg kind of create illusion. So actually is, I have to push in. So I better to look at on another picture of the reference. This is why we need more than one picture. So say I have a bunch, so I can look at on the other. These are not good enough, neither do I have another one. I have it on another drive. Oh, come on, come. So they kind of round. This is looks so cool. Look at how many horn this guy has. 5. I think I might have on my drive more picture. One moment. Oh, I didn't have it. Okay. So in this case, let me see. I'm gonna get more picture. And you can Google the image too. So I can see it actually has a little tip. Really big belly actually. Oh, I was right. Okay, so I had, it's actually, here we go. Okay, kind of look like this. Let me do trim dynamics a little bit. I use trim dynamics to kind of flatten some section so that looks a little defined. Okay, so just define a little bit, trim dynamics, soften it. Okay. So the next thing we will do is we're gonna build the head. So block out the head, and this time I'm gonna insert a sphere. Here we go. And redynamash. Turn on dynamash. Make it slow. Make it low. 128, the default one. because we don't need high res yet. So I'm gonna move in spot, scale it down a little bit, then so it looked like this. Not quite what we wanted yet. So go to the top part, switch to draw, and started to form the shape. So make sure you turn symmetry, X shortcut. There we go. Form the shape. Form. What I'm looking at I'm looking at on the profile of the top view. That's all for now. Here we go. If I turn it off, look like this. On the bottom, we're gonna have to look at on the profile from the bottom. So I'm gonna make it bigger on there. Here we go. And okay. So we block it out. Now, on these parts, it actually has top and bottom. So, might be better. Let me turn off this. Here we go. Okay. To separate them, because it might be easier to build it. So now, I already kind of modified the, oh, this is not enough. Hold on, here we go. Let's prep this quick. Look at on there. Okay. So what am I looking at it? I'm looking at multiple reference right now. See right there. I think I'm gonna download this image because seems like I don't have that one yet. Fundamental 7. And this is just like kind of the way it is. While you're working on it, you Google at the same time, you might find the image that give you a better angle of your subject. There we go. So let's separate the bottom. Now, how do we separate though? We're gonna reuse both. So we're gonna use two of them. So first, we duplicate it. So might be a good idea, guys, to name it. So this is gonna be back, rename, back, oh, wing, how about wing back, wing, top wing. Okay. And then press enter to execute. This is a Bali, bottom part. Bottom part. Okay. And now this will be the top part of the head. Not, I don't know if called head or not. It's more like a neck for me, but we can just say top part of the head. So top, because we still have face, top part, head. I'm gonna add the word neck into it. Okay. So now we're gonna duplicate it. So duplicate, and this one we're gonna rename to bottom part. Bottom part of head neck. There we go. So let's hide the bottom part first. Okay. And we're gonna cut using clip brush. Let's take a look at on the image again. Look at more on reference. So I kind of want something like this. Can you see to cut it? And then we're gonna cut on this section also. So if you hold Control Shift together, right here on the brush, make sure you hold Control Shift in order to access the clip brush. And choose Clip Curve. Now, if you hold Control Shift click, when you tap Alt, you should be able to create a curve. I can't because if you remember, I have a, make sure you select top neck, turn off the bottom part. Turn the visibility off. Can you guys try? I have a Zoom does something. Either Zoom or either OBS. So it won't allow me to tap Alt key. But with the clip brush, you can try. If you tap Alt key, you can create a curve. If you double click on Alt, you get a sharp corner. Mandy, did you have a question?
I was going to ask which brush it was, but I can see it's clip curve.
Make sure you hold Control Shift first. Keep holding it, and then move it. Cursor here, click on it, and clip curve is right there. It has to be on hold, Shift, and Control. So, hey guys, I can't do that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just cut it half, like that. If you can't, go ahead, follow that curve flow, follow the flow of the reference. Now, this is not the end of it. If I cannot use that command, that function, I can just manually move it. This time I'm gonna use move infinite depth, so that left and right are match exactly. So let me look. So right, I was on the wrong layers again. Here we go. Come on. I think I undo it by accident. Hold on. Okay, I'm gonna have to do it again. Cut. Here we go. And now I can use a move infinite format. There we go. Just wanted to create some kind of curved look like this. Now, this part of the head, can you see right there? I'm gonna clip curve again. If you can hold Alt key, clip curve with Alt, do it. If you can't, you're gonna have to do it like mine. I'm gonna just clip it like that. I can clip a little more. And if you remember, while you're holding Shift Control, you can add spacebar to move your clip curve around. Here we go. So when I do that, I'm gonna have to manually form the shape. Once again, if you could do it with your brush, with the Alt key, do it. If you can't, well, you have to do it like mine. Here we go. Now, I don't think this, can you see when I did this, because of the move infinite, what I can do is I can use edge polish to fill this part back and then soften it. Here we go. Here we go. Yes.
What's the Alt key supposed to do?
Alt, when you hold, hey guys, can you listen to me quick? When you hold Control Shift together, like this, right? If you tap Alt key, it will create a bending. It will bend that curve.
Oh, click it, not hold it down.
No. Tap. Sorry, I should use the word tap. Tap the Alt key. I can't because I either, like I explained, in my case, either Zoom video or OBS video cause that. Now, make sure the Dynamesh is on. You can turn on polyframe, Shift F, and look under geometry. Mine is, I think right now it's time for me to increase the resolution. Let's do 260. I mean, the number I just randomly, and you have to smooth a little bit and then control drag to make ZBrush update. So I think in this case I got enough. Now I can use edge polish to fill this part back up. Nope, that's not good. Okay, I'm gonna just leave it there for now. You can trim it like this, and then soften it. So it look like this. Okay. I'll give you a few minutes, and I think, yes.
I got kind of
Okay.
part, particularly with the second clip curve is where I.
Hold on. Okay, guys, that's kind of, this is my side profile, and font, and top profile look like this. Based on the, can you see, try to match that shape. Doesn't have to be perfect. Something like that. Hold on, let me, this is a top. If I do Shift S, I do snapshot. And this is the side. Here we go. It looked like this. Oh, let me save quick. Make sure you use File, Save As. Not tool this time, because of we want to have that image with us.
I don't know, I just kind of got lost in, I don't know, the second clip, where would I go?
You go to side view, and basically you look at on the, you go to side view like that, and then just clip it on that section.
Oh, and this is just a small section right here.
Yeah, because we building this, we block this part out right there.
Ah, where the
Yeah.
head is. Okay.
Right, and if you are able to use tab alt, use it so that you can get curve. I can't, so mine doesn't look great because I want this section to push inward.
Yeah, I had to restart my thing because it was lagging. And
That's
it was
okay.
lagging again.
That's okay. Hey guys, basically this is the shape I wanted. It's just because based on this reference, you know, like, see, it's like a little curve. Now you might need to look at on the top view. This has to go invert a little bit. It looks like a ellipse shape, so that one has to go a little forward. Once again, we are not doing detail, we just try to get the overall shape. And hey guys, can you look at on my screen quick? What if I want these to be a little crease? If I use damn standard brush, if I hold Alt key, can you see? It pulling it out. So let me try smaller intensity and hold Alt key. There we go. So that it doesn't take too much surface. Can you see I am able to do that if I use larger brush. There we go. So that I can get a big area. There we go. Can you see it look like that? And I'm gonna touch up this section a little bit. See, so I'm gonna just use move brush because I want the flow. Let me clear my screen, Control N. Here we go. See right here, just the flow. Because I'm looking at on this part right here. It looks like a cone shape, but we will sculpt that later. So now, how about this section? Well, for today, if I were you in the future, when you build this, I would build separate object and then combine them so that you can bend them nicer. However, for today, let's try this. On the brush, click on it, and you're gonna press S and look for snake hook brush right here. There's two of them. This is the original, and there's also a snake sphere. Now, how it works, let's try the first one. And this time, I better to turn off symmetry. Press X. And look at on side view. Can you look at on my quick? Okay. So if I move it, can you see? This is snake hook. There we go. So I can extend that part. Now, if you turn on a Sculptis Pro and look what happened. Let me turn this off first. Turn on wireframe so that you can see. And if I grab, I can move it out. There we go. When I read a mesh, it will fix that area. So let's try this. If I turn Sculptis Pro, this is how it will work. Is create a destination, and sometimes if you use smaller brush, you get higher detail based on the brush size. So here we go. You see? So now I'm gonna undo. You could try to use either with or without. Okay. So sometimes if you wanted to get a little more part like spiky, you might want, like right here on the leg, you might want to try to turn the Sculptis Pro. This will allow you to define the shape. However, it just because these are so big, it's a main, so I'm gonna grab and just move. For now, read at a mesh, and then I'm gonna turn that part off, the poly frame. Now, I did not do it right on the center. Can you see? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just use move brush to move close to the center for now, and then I'm gonna choose mirror surface, and then I'm gonna touch up. So that I can get symmetrical. So I read at a mesh, and can you watch again? So now I go to geometry, modify topology, mirror and wheel. Here we go. So now I get left and right exactly the same. And it looked like this. So let me undo again to show it to you. So go to side view first, change the brush to snake hook. You can press S to filter, and grab and undo. I think it started from a little right here. Move it until it's kind of, you get some surface. Read and a mesh. Go to side view, go to font view, because they are not center. So you will need to just try to move so that it's on the left side position. Good. Here we go. So now I can mirror this section under geometry, modify geometry palette, and modify topology subpalette, mirror and wheel. It will wheel from the left positive to negative. Here we go. Now, if the tip are too thin with a mesh, you can use inflate brush and just inflate it. Turn on symmetry so that Here we go. Can you see inflate a little bit? I can inflate on the base also. Here we go. And you read and match again and soften it. So now let's modify a little bit more. I want the shape to be really looks like a curve. Now can you see if we use separate object, we have more control in terms of sculpting curve, because we can use the bent curve command to get the shape. Here we go. So it look like this. And I'm not going to split the detail this section yet, because I wanted to later on I wanted to form this angle. Can you see it's more like a bevel looks? So the best way to do that is trim dynamics from here. Make it low intensity. So when I trim, can you see? I did it too much. Here we go. So I'm gonna change the intensity to really low, like maybe 2 to 3, because little by little is better than do it at once. Here we go. And this section will be bigger. Can you see it started to be hold on. These tips are too bent. So let's move it back. Here we go. And what if you wanted to make it smaller? You can use move brush to make it smaller, or you can use inflate, hold Alt key instead. It will deflate it when you hold Alt key. Here we go. Read and match. Now can you see I get kind of a little bit decent. We don't need to spend more time on here yet, because we're still under the process of forming the overall shape. Basically we're blocking it. So now I'm gonna move on to the next section, which is the bottom part. We just need a little surface. So when I go to sub 2, click on this part of the geometry. Basically I'm gonna trim it from the top. If I click on transparency, I can see everything else transparency, so that gives me a little feedback to, oh, by the way, because we read and mesh, but you need to soften the surface by hold shift key. So now control shift, clip curve, and I'm gonna clip from the top. So I'm gonna drag it from left to right. There we go. And I think this time, let me move it up right there. Here we go. Can you see I clip it? And the next thing we need to do is we need to form the top part so that it won't penetrate it. Form the bottom part so that it won't penetrate it using move brush. Just push that in. It should have a little level like this. Can you see? And I did it really quick. Here we go. Hide it. Now it look like this. Okay. Save. Because it might crash. There we go. So now it look like this shape. See, we get somewhere now. Are you guys doing okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think you could throw the Beetle references you're using from Google into the D2L for us to download?
Say it again.
Do you think you can throw the references you're using, like the extra references you're using for the Beetle, onto D2L so we can download them?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let me zip it and then just give it to you guys. So let me download more.
So, sir, I'm doing a bit better. I'm almost getting the body done.
Good. I'll wait. I'll give you 10 more minutes, guys, and you guys can take a break. Hey, guys, can you remind me to unpause the rec? We're gonna do the phase. Let me turn the. Mine's a little different than I'm gonna exaggerate the his horn. So right here, this part. Okay. Now on this part though, the eyes, if you look, let me put the image, the one that we look right here. Can you see there's a big eyeball there? And I don't know if this is called nose or not, but
It's like a horn.
the horn, okay, yeah. So in that case, yes,
Did you remember to press play?
yes, I did.
Okay.
This time I remember. Thank you. So now with this shape though, when we look at on the shape, last time we used that a snake hook. I think this time we better to use separate object because this seems more. I mean, if you use separate object, we can start it with a box, long box, so that we can get that bevel shape like that right away. Otherwise, it's gonna take so much work to try to form them manually. So this is what we will do. First, we're gonna build the horn first, and then we're gonna connect to the front face, and then have the leave the section of the eyeball. Insert cube. Just insert that cube. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off temporarily.
Did you
And-
share screen?
Oh, yes. Hold on. Why did I do that? Luckily, I recorded, so thank you. I keep forgetting that. Here we go. So just insert cube, just one big cube. And then go ahead, scale it so that it looks like a long box like this. Just like that. And I think it might be a little longer. Now on the bottom part though, it's a little thick, right? Right there. Thick. So we're gonna use deformer to help. Not now. Just get that shape first. And if I rotate, see it look like this. That gonna be there. And then we're gonna taper on the bottom a little bigger, and on the tip will be a little smaller. So just rotate to get that angle, and the gizmo need to line up like this in order to make this time work. Now, I am looking at on different model, but can you see that it looks like flare like this, and then has an angle on the center and a little flat to the bottom, more like a triangle. And if you look at on our, let's go to the top quick. Can you see this? Right here, it has an angle, slightly bevel. So we could think of these part of the top part here are bevel in, right there. So now, I think when I look at this again, let's move this back to be a straight line like this so that we can taper it really easy from the top view right here. Okay. So go to draw, make sure you use move infinite and press X so that it's symmetry. So we're gonna move the brush smaller. So basically we want to tape this down like this. There we go. Okay. So to get started and soften it. Oh, be careful on the edge. Even though on the edge, change the shape, it's still okay. We forgot, we got to redata mesh this. Hold on, let me undo quick. Let's redata mesh first. So geometry, Dynamesh, and leave it low. So now I changed my mind. Let's do not do moving. Let's use a pinch brush instead. So I'm gonna go to the back side and click on solo so that I can solo only this part and use a pinch, turn off symmetry because it might do a little weird. And can you see I pinched too hard? So the brush size is really big. Let's masking. So hold control and mask just right there. Here we go. So that we can pinch like this. Here we go. I do it too quick, but can you see I can pinch like that? So what we can do is reduce the intensity to really low. Let's do 4. We just want to do little by little. Here we go. Okay. So it's kind of taper it, but use pinch brush. Here we go. Now, this section, I forgot to blend it by control click to soften the brush. I make a mistake, but that's okay. We can soften it. Here we go. I soften it too hard. Let me reduce the size of the brush. This time I need to turn on symmetry. X, and I can soften it. And you can use trim dynamics to help to trim on the side a little more. Like that. And I can do Alt with trim dynamics to kind of pull it. And then I'm gonna soft. I think this is good enough for now. See, we can get some shape to get started. And then we can soften it. Here we go. And I can keep pinching a little more, or you can use edge polish and Alt key to fill that part. Here we go. See, it look like this. For now, I think that's good at the moment. Now, we're going to use bend curve to bend this horn. So if you go to move, click on the gear icon, which is the customize bend curve. And now, let's take a look at where the direction of the dots. I want the dots to line up in vertical. Right now it's lined up in kind of horizontal. So right here, change, one click. Now, number 2 is give me in vertical. So right here. And you can increase resolution, just only 3 dot for now. Now, if I active this, I can grab this tube with scale to scale it so that it looks wider. Here we go. I think that might be too wide. I'm gonna grab the tip, shrink it down. Here we go. Now we want it to be a little flat expand it. So I click this. The second cone here is squeeze. Can you see? I can squeeze that in a little bit. And then I'm going to scale it again to widen it up. Let me turn on solo. Can you see it look like this? So I think that might be, here we go. And this section I can reduce a little bit. And if you feel like, no, don't increase it yet. So now I'm gonna bring that back, turn off solo, grab that, and then rotate it. Kind of bend it. Can you see this one is give better shape than if we try to use snake hook. So give us starting point much quicker. Let me switch, turn on a 4 so that I can kind of try to get roughly. I'm going to exaggerate the curve of the horn a little bit just for the sake of design. Here we go. And I'm going to scale it down a little more. It's too thick for me. I can squeeze it. Here we go. I mean, when we use squeeze, what I am doing is I try to get it expanded. So you use the combination of squeeze and scale. Scale to get everything uniform, and then squeeze it one. For example, if I do this, see they all uniform on left and right, and then I can squeeze it to make it wider and so on. Oh, yes, Mandy.
Sorry, I got lost
With this part,
before we started doing the curve.
the curve.
What was it again? Was it the deformer or?
Oh, on the curve right here, you turn on move to,
Okay.
and then click on the gear icon, and then choose bend curve. Let me undo this so that I can show you guys again. Okay, so basically you turn on move, click on the gear icon, and turn on bend curve. After you turn on bend curve, use this tube, the first cone that next to the blue color. You might be on X. Here we go. So switch it to, use the visual. Make sure the dot are on top and bottom. When you get that dot on top and bottom like this, you use the resolution right here to increase. So I do just only, it said 7, basically only 3 dots.
How do I change the?
Say it again.
How do I change the axis?
Right here, this button, this cone, that cone. When you move cursor, it said axis 1 equal to X, 2 equal to Y. And then you just move it. Can you look at on my screen? Can you see? That's it.
Okay.
So, but when you do switch, look visually on your model, see if the dot line up from top here to bottom there.
Okay.
And then you increase the resolution. This is the cone, the orange color. And do only 3 dots. So now go to side view. Here we go. And on the bottom, select the bottom part. We're gonna flare the bottom. So to flare, it's called scale. Right here, this cone. Grab it and then you flare it out. Here we go. Don't do it too big. You might need to turn on the reference so that you can see. You can move it right away too. Here we go. And then, now look at on the top view here. We needed to make it wider. So to make it wider, you do squeeze. Scale and squeeze. You squeeze it down, and then it will appear to be too small. Just scale it back up more. Here we go. So now you get this kind of shape. Same thing as on this guy. This on the middle, I'm gonna squeeze it down, not scale it. But on the tip, I'm gonna scale all the way down and squeeze a little bit, so that it appear to be like taper like this. And then when you get to this point, just form the shape. You can exaggerate the shape so that it looks better curve. Oh, I'm gonna have to undo. Oh, come on. Scale it. Okay. And I went out and undo, so I make a mistake, so I'm gonna have to undo all the way to do it again over. It just it changed when it started to bend. It changed the shape. Here we go.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to rewatch it because it took a while to
Yeah.
load.
That's fine. Maybe, hey guys, how about that's it for now. Let you finish the shape, so we can take a little slow. Okay, so right now I'm gonna finish this. Make sure you save often.
Right.
And I think this is good enough. Oh, that's too thin. Okay, I think this is the shape I gonna keep. Oh wait. Hold on, I'm gonna exaggerate a little bit more. Make it longer than the picture. Here we go. And need to be bigger. Hey guys, at some point, if you feel like you need a little more curve. You can bump up one more so that you can get a little more kind of define the look. So this one I'm gonna shake that. I'm gonna scale it down a little bit. Okay, I think that's it for me. I'm gonna execute it, save, and I'm gonna stop my record.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So the rest of the time, just catch up, get to this point.
Okay. I have a quick question regarding the project revision, if you don't mind.
No.
Is there any